For educational content from Da Vinci Kids to ABC Education, I've got something for everyone from elementary to high schoolers. So get ready to be lit with a whole new world of opportunities. See you on the block.
So fun for me. I learned a lot from you guys.
The new thing that I've learned is about belief, which is very interesting. Consists of different kind of topics from grade 9 to grade 12.
It's going to inspire them to do better in future for their maths, and also in general to inspire them to become better students and be able to do well in their school academic work.
Hello and welcome. This is the Midday News. The National Cultural Commission has provided 100,000 kina in support to TVWAN film production for the screening of their locally produced film Plasman. This is part of NCC's commitment to promoting arts and culture through film and aligns with the government's goal to produce 20 local feature films by 2027. Plasman, shot entirely in Papua New Guinea and launched in July, addresses key social issues such as tribal conflicts and youth unemployment, encouraging rural communities to focus on agriculture. The film will be aired on Digicel TVWAN with a sequel planned for next year. Education will help you succeed. South Sydney Rabbitohs winger and Kumul international Alex Johnston emphasized on this when meeting the students of Buk Bilang Pikinini in Lae, Marabe province.
South Sydney Rabbitohs winger Alex Johnston was in Lae, Marabe province from Friday, October 18th to Tuesday, October 22nd. He was brought to Lae by the Lae Biscuit Company as their brand ambassador for the 2024 Marabe Show. Upon his arrival on Friday, Johnston visited the Lae Showgrounds Library Learning Center to read to the children his own book entitled A Footy Tale. When addressing the students of the Buk Bilang Pikinini, the guardians and teachers, Johnston said children are our future, hence the best way to ensure they succeed in life is to teach them to read.
Yeah, I think schooling and education and learning to read is one of the most important things in life. It helps you succeed and whatever you want to do when you're older. So me, myself, I wanted to win and I wanted to win at school as well. And everything I do, I try and do it my absolute best.
Johnston outlined that it's not just about rugby or sports in general. Education has to be prioritized. Library books were also donated for the new library that is currently being built by the Chow Foundation at the St. Stephen Elementary School. Camila Guare, TVWAN News, Lae.
A war canoe named Goila Hewalina from Dawa village will make its debut at the upcoming National Canoe and Kundu Festival in November and will also be featured on European television. The intricately designed canoe used historically by the Alaba and Tawala people for raids was launched last Thursday after months of construction, which was documented by an Italian film crew. The launch ceremony attended by officials from the NKKF, Milne Bay Tourism Bureau and Milne Bay Tourism Industry Association included cultural performances by Guavili Primary School students. Milne Bay Tourism Industry Association President Malita Tokwakwasi, who helped facilitate the documentary, congratulated the community on its efforts. The documentary will be released in Europe by the end of October. Goila Hewalina's participation in the festival is assured, marking Dawadawa's first entry in NKKF's 20-year history. In regional news, cost of living and youth crime are emerging as two of the biggest issues for voters in Brisbane's outer suburbs ahead of Election Day on Saturday. But some residents are still unsure who they will be voting for.
Lee Lung Say came to Australia from Laos 8 years ago seeking a better life. She runs a food stall at this popular weekend market. But like many, she's struggling.
Living is really hard now. Yeah, we need more help.
She wants to see more done to reduce the high cost of groceries and other everyday expenses.
I feel like sometimes terrible, sometimes okay. You know, you have to do it. You have to stay. You have to have a life for your kid. That's it.
The markets are in Woodridge, a safe Labor seat held by Treasurer Cameron Dick. The nearby seat of Springwood has only ever been held by the government of the day. Local cafe owner Alex Milicevic wants more support for small business.
I seriously don't know who I'm going to vote for because I can't see change happening.
40 kilometres away, in the seat of Ipswich West, youth crime is a pressing issue.
It's a court system, to my opinion, and that's the sort what needs to get sorted out. Seriously.
You used to be able to walk out at night and be safe. Now you're not going to walk down the street.
The electorate flipped from Labor to LNP at a by-election in March. Labor is desperate to win it back.
Look, neither side sets me on fire.
Labor currently hold a range of suburban seats in regions like Logan, Ipswich, Moreton Bay and the Redlands. But demographics are slowly changing as more young families move to these areas for affordable housing. Experts say this could see a shift in the way these outer suburban areas vote.
These people, by and large, are aspirational Australians that have come here in part for a better life, and that's making it a more complex political picture.
Back at the markets, Thai food stall owner Tik Chunwanta wants better investment in local infrastructure.
And then we make everything drop really big, the petrol, the grocery, please, so it'd be helpful. Thank you.
Opposition leader Peter Dutton has suggested Lydia Thorpe resign from the Senate after she interjected at a reception for King Charles III at Parliament House. Senator Thorpe has defended her actions, saying she felt she had no other way to get her message across and that she had sought a private meeting with the King. The senator said she had no intention to resign but reaffirmed she did not plan to seek re-election after the conclusion of her Senate term. Senator Thorpe, a Gunai and Gujit Mara and Jabung woman, was escorted from Parliament's Great Hall by security after her interjection in which she accused the monarchy of genocide against our people. Dutton said it had overshadowed the King's otherwise successful visit and told the ABC's AM he did not intend to add to the self-promotion she seeks. The National Health and Medical Research Council is set to release new draft guidelines reducing the allowable levels of substances known as forever chemicals in drinking water. PFAS chemicals have been linked to cancer, and once they're in the environment, they can take thousands of years to break down.
PFAS chemicals are man-made chemicals that are known for their heat, stain and water-resistant qualities. They are pervasive in the environment and also don't easily break down in the human body. They're found in everyday products like non-stick pans and makeup, and were really widely used in things like firefighting foam back in the 1980s up until they were banned about a decade ago here in Australia. As a result, they're found quite widespread in the environment. Really, the ground zero for PFAS chemicals and regulations is the United States, where these chemicals were manufactured, and there have been many issues with environmental concerns and a growing body of evidence of health impacts such as cancers like thyroid cancer and kidney cancer. Now, the US EPA conducted a major review where it imposed some of the world's strictest guidelines when it comes to safe levels in drinking water. As a result, Australia was inspired somewhat and followed in the footsteps of the United States and conducted its own review. Now, the draft guidelines of that review have been handed down, and Australia is proposing to slash the safe levels of PFAS chemicals in Australian drinking water by up to 3 times of what we've got in place at the moment. So there are 14,000 chemicals of PFAS, 4 of them for which we measure and can test in Australia. One of those chemicals will be slashed to the same level as they have in the United States, and the 2 others will be more lenient. Now, these are draft guidelines and are open for public consultation until the end of November, from which the National Health and Medical Research Council will review the consultation and the feedback for these regulations to then be reviewed, potentially changed, made tighter or even looser compared to what has been proposed today. And they will come in place from April of next year. Then it is on to the state and territory governments who oversee and regulate those water suppliers to then make sure that their water supplies for all Australians reach these new standards. Now, the biggest question everyone will have is our drinking water as it stands currently safe? There will be some looking back on some of our drinking water here in Australia, and some of it will not be considered safe under these new guidelines. For example, they're in the Blue Mountains, out on the outskirts of Sydney in New South Wales. Recent tests have come up with concerning levels of PFOS and PFOS, these different types of chemicals, the PFAS chemicals, and if we look at that with the view of these new proposed guidelines, that drinking water will not be considered safe. So the hope is that state and territory governments use these new guidelines to conduct testing and then potentially impose technologies to try and remove PFAS, or people can take their own steps and their own action to ensure that they're drinking the safest water possible.
In sport, after starring in Miami, Florida, the PNG kickboxer Thomas Kagili is sure to lead Team PNG for the World Championship title fight in Spain next month. The opportunity to lead his country's kickboxing team to the world's biggest event would come to reality with the support of Pacific Corporate Security.
Pacific Corporate Security has pledged 10,000 kina towards the national kickboxer Thomas Kagili's campaign in the World Kickboxing Championship title appearance in Spain. Kagili is one of the top 30 boxers in the country selected to represent PNG in the World Championship. He is expected to lead PNG's kickboxers to the championship.
You trust me, you got hope, you believe. Now you are going to gathering long. I expose the media team, thank you. Thank you, Lord Fighters, some Lord Cam. Then thank you, Lord Chief. Mr. Some problem that comes to bacteria, most of them black work man. Over the story, I'm all story finish, but me like thank you, long Chief, Nadex, who am staff. And I'm supporting me good too long from a leg in hand. I'm thank you, Lord Chief. Now, thank you, Lord PCS, who are supporting me to the finish.
Pacific Corporate Security Chief Executive Officer Jason Kaupa said the security firm has been supporting youths in sports over the years. He said their support to Kagili shows their trust in the potential of kickboxing in the country. The president of the PNG Kickboxing Federation thanked Kaupa and the Pacific Corporate Security for supporting their fighters, promising that Kagili is a gold prospect for the team. Kagili last fought in Miami, Florida, in the United States, where he won in his weight division. He is expected to replicate that form in Spain in the World Championship title next month. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Coaches and captains of the 4 competing nations for the OFC Beach Soccermen's Nations Cup have remained positive ahead of this week's tournament fielding experience as PNG tagged as underdogs. Debutants Papua New Guinea will play Fiji and host Solomon Islands will meet Tahiti in today's opener in Solomon Islands. On Wednesday, Fiji against Tahiti and PNG goes up against the Solomon Islands. For Papua New Guinea head coach Babong Labong, this tournament will be a huge learning experience as the side is about to step onto the pitch for the first time to play an international match.
But all is like advantage blow me play long. Some play long numbers. We got believe all that they can play. But challenge them. You miss some like Tahiti, Solomon, Fiji. All play long time yet. So blow me play try best. Blow me play look seems that challenge.
That ends the midday news. Do join us at 6 tonight for more news and sport. Bye for now.